Hello, welcome back to my channel, or hello for the first time. How you doing? Hope you're okay, hope you're having a fantastic day or evening. So we've all played Stardew Valley, right? Like, if you haven't played Stardew Valley, you really should be playing Stardew Valley, especially right now when there's a quarantine on the go. If you're looking for something to sink hundreds of hours into, I fully recommend Stardew Valley. For those who haven't played Stardew Valley, it's basically a simple farming game. You're just a wee guy or a wee girl or a wee whoever, and you get a farm and then you work on the farm. Basically, there's villagers, you can make things, you have a wee house. It's great, right? This is great. In the game, there's a cake called pink cake. To make pink cake, you have to have the recipe, and once you've got the recipe, then you have to have, I think it's like sugar, flour, egg, and then a melon in the game. Pink cake kind of looks like this. Obviously that's just a pixelated picture, but we're going to go with that. So today, if you haven't guessed already, we're going to make Stardew Valley pink cake. As I mentioned, there is melon in the game, and I will not be putting melon in my cake because I just don't think the flavour's that strong. I don't think it's actually going to bring anything to anything. I think it'd be gross in the icing, and I don't think it would bring it into the actual like sponge, so we're not going to use that. In the picture, it does look like it's obviously pink, but it looks like it's either got strawberries or raspberries or something on top of it, so we're going to go with raspberries. And this video is going to be a wee bit different than usual, because usually what I would do is have a recipe already made, show you everything in the bowls and whatnot, and then go ahead and make it. This time I'm actually going to go with my gut and just fling stuff together, see what happens, because there is no recipe for this other than Stardew Valley's recipe, which isn't really a recipe. So we're just going to make a really nice vanilla sponge cake, and then we're going to make probably a raspberry cream for the insides, and probably some sort of like pink raspberry flavoured buttercream on the outside, decorated with the stuff on the inside and then some raspberries. It sounds good, but whether or not I make that, we'll see. Once I have made everything and I'm happy with it, I will then write down what I used and put it in some sort of recipe in the description below. So if you want to see me make pink cake and you want to see how it looks at the end, then please stay with me. Also, if you're new here, if you can hear grumbling and stuff in the background, I've got two pugs who are very nosy and like to be here when I bake. So they're in their bed, and that's the noise you hear. Anyway, let's get to it. Okay, this is probably the best I can do angle wise for like this, so ignore all the mess behind me. It is what it is. For the sponge cake for this, we're going to make a really basic, simple cake. We don't want to complicate the sponge cake too much, because really the outside and the inside, like the cream and stuff, is going to be quite nice. So we don't want too much richness. So we're going to make basic sponge, which is 125 grams of caster sugar and 125 grams of butter, and you'll also use 125 grams of flour. But in the meantime, what we're going to do is cream our butter and sugar together until they're light and fluffy, and then we're going to add an egg at a time, and we're going to use 3 eggs. So I recommend using a hand mixer or a stand mixer for this, just because it lets it do its own thing. If you're not and you're using like a whisk, that's fine too, you'll just be there longer. After that's been beaten for a while, that's light and creamy. The butter and sugar is turned into like a really light, fluffy consistency. So that's what you're looking for. So at this stage we're going to add an egg at a time and a wee bit of vanilla. By a wee bit of vanilla, I think a teaspoon's probably enough. Hello. So I've moved over to the counter now because we're going to sift in our flour. This is what I'm kind of left with, like consistency wise. So we're just going to bung this flour in. As I say, that was 125 grams of flour, and I added 2 tablespoons of baking powder to that as well. Again, you're not doing it right if you don't fling flour everywhere. So that's my cake batter. Simple. We're going to transfer this into tins. My oven is preheating just now to 160 degrees because I've got a fan oven. If you don't have a fan oven, you'll use 180 degrees. So these are the tins that I'm using. They're fairly shallow and I've got 4 of them. I think this mix is probably going to do about maybe 2 of these cakes, maybe 3 at a push, but we'll see how we get on. All actual guidelines and stuff will be down below in the description. Yeah, absolutely, it's going to make 2 cakes. We might only need 2. I think we'll make 4. I think I'll make 4 cakes, and that way we can make it a tall boy if we want it to be a tall boy. We'll see. So these will go in my oven, I would say honestly like 12 minutes. Okay, so I've made 2 cakes already, they're resting. I've got 2 in the oven now, so that's cool. So bear with me here, right? I've got this like idea of a kind of raspberry flavoured topping, and what I'm going to do with that, or what I was thinking about doing, was bashing the absolute living daylights out of these raspberries and then draining the fruit from the juice and then using the juice and the icing sugar to make a raspberry flavoured sort of buttercream that goes over it. But we're going to try it. So I've got 3 packets here. I'm going to keep 1 packet for decoration, so I'll keep this one for decoration. And then we're just going to squeeze the absolute living crap out of these. So we're going to give them a wash first, obviously. And then, yeah, we'll get to bashing and sieving and whatnot. If I mush in the sieve, yeah, I'll get the good juice. So this might be a process. So I am happy with that. I think I've done enough scraping. I think that'll do. That's quite a lot of liquid. Now there are some seeds in that liquid as well, so I think what I'll do is I'll drain the liquid again and I'll just pour this liquid back through this sieve now. This is a much finer sieve and it'll get rid of any seeds that are in there. So yeah, I'm glad I used that second sieve because you'll see there that there's actually a ton of seeds still in there. So now I am happy that I have a puree with no seeds. So we'll put that to the side for now. Okay, so while the cakes are cooling, what we're going to do is we're going to try and make this buttercream. So in here so far, I've got 150 grams of butter. To that I'm going to add 300 grams of icing sugar, some vanilla, probably a teaspoon. You would usually add milk to a buttercream, but I'm going to add this raspberry sauce. And then we're going to mess around with the consistency for a bit, possibly add more icing sugar or more butter, depending on how it turns out. So we'll start with the basics, and in the description below I'll add what I finally put. So we're going to soften this just now. So I'm just going to scrape down the sides because, as you can see, I tried to put my raspberry sauce in and nothing happened, it just went right up the sides. So what I'm going to do is add a tablespoon at a time of my icing sugar, which is 300 grams, and then every now and again add in a tablespoon of this raspberry sauce and see how it goes from there. I'm just keeping an eye on the consistency of it because I feel like the acidity of the fruit sauce may actually make the butter curdle, and obviously we don't want that. So we'll keep going. Again, just scraping the sides because this is an absolutely ridiculous stand mixer as well, and it really doesn't do the best work. Right, I mean, it's getting a really nice colour. I'm achieving the pink cake colour, which is nice. Okay, okay, I see you, pink cake. Now let's keep going. Oh, starting to look okay, but it is starting to split a wee bit, and that was my worry. Right. It tastes like raspberries. It tastes like artificial raspberries, and that's stressing me out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add some double cream to this, a little bit more raspberry. It's going to prevent me adding any more butter, which is the fat, and it's going to hopefully give me a light consistency. I would say probably 2 tablespoons of double cream, 1 last tablespoon of raspberry. And now we're going to whisk this to an inch its life. Hello, we're back. We have 4 cakes and some cream, and we have some icing, and that's in the fridge. So what we're going to do just now is we're going to fill these cakes. So what I've done is I have baked these cakes, and then I've turned them upside down on the rack just to try and make them as flat as possible. So yeah, all we're going to do just now is basically fill them with cream. So I have gone ahead and whipped some cream with a tiny bit of sugar in it, because I don't want to put a lot of sugar in it, as the actual icing itself is quite sweet, because obviously it's icing sugar. Hello, so editing Sue here, that's why I look so weird and like an egg. I don't know why I didn't acknowledge this, but the cakes are deflated. I'm editing just now and I can see it, and I'm like, why don't I ever mention this? But the cakes are basically deflated in the middle, so they've like sank in the middle. Ham's to the besties, but that's what's happened. So later on I'll like cut the cake and you'll see that it'll like divot in the middle. I don't know how it's happened. The recipe I used is fine. I can't tell you why my cakes have deflated, but they have. I done the recipe again, like the sponge recipe only, and they didn't deflate, so it's not the sponge recipe. But in the description below I will put 2 different recipes for sponges for you to use. But yeah, I should have acknowledged my sponge deflated in the middle. It was still edible, it's still fine, just it sank, so it didn't look the prettiest. So I'm acknowledging it now, and yeah, let's continue with the rest of this cake. It's probably enough, because there is going to be... is it enough? Is it enough though? Probably. Yeah, it probably is enough. I'm just being rough with this because when you have all this weight in a cake, it's all going to splodge. So I don't want to put too much in there, in the fear that it will splodge. But that's probably enough. I mean, my cakes have sank in the middle as well, which is really annoying. Like when you hold them, there's like no sinkage, but there is a little bit. My cake's got like a higher rim, but whatever. I suppose having a higher rim does indicate sinkage, doesn't it? It's both of the same thing. We're going to put the pink icing on top to make it the pink cake. Okay, so any leftover cream, what I've done is I've just put it back in the fridge, because we're going to use that to decorate. This was not a mistake, this was actually me trying the cake. So obviously professional as per. That's the height of our cake, so that'll do the now. I think what we'll do is we'll do a crumb coating. If you don't know what that is, it's basically just a thin layer of the icing all the way around, and then we're going to chill it, and that prevents any of the crumb coming up when we're just doing our icing. So I'll take my icing, give it a wee stir, and then it smells so good. It smells so raspberry like. Obviously it should, because it's full of raspberry juice. It almost smells artificial, but in like the best way. I don't know how else to describe that. I've went ahead and just randomly put splotches all the way around, and I'm going to use this tool to basically flatten all them out and spin. So now I'm just going to go back round and fill in any wee splotches that don't have any icing on them. Now this isn't the right tool for this, but it does the job. I actually do have something else that I will use to smooth it out later, but for now we just want a coating. So we'll just do the same to the top. So I'm happy with that, that's my rough guide. So this will now go in the fridge for, I would say about 20 minutes, half an hour, just to chill out. And then we'll take it back out again and we'll put our actual full decoration on. Okay, so we're back from out the fridge and now we're going to use the big boy tool to do the same thing, almost. Basically, yeah, you're doing the same thing. So, we'll do one big dollop there and do what we did the last time and do more big dollops. I'm just going to use this tool now to try and flatten the top and push anything that we're not using to the sides. Yeah, that's better, that's a much better tool to use. So once I'm finished trying to finesse this cake, I'll come back to you and show you what I've done. So this is about as finessed as I could be bothered to get this cake. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is just decorate it. I'm going to do wee whips of cream with wee raspberries on top. Alrighty, so in the picture there's like raspberries all the way around. To be fair, in the picture it looks like there's a hole in the middle and it actually looks like it's all white on top, but I don't know. I think what I'm just going to do is just do little sort of florets like that. Then we'll put a raspberry in each one. Okay, so cream all over my hand. While we're here, let's try and pick the best raspberries that we can find. We need to pick the beautiful ones, you know, that one's a nice one. So we'll plonk that in there. All I did is wash these and then dry them a little bit with a sort of paper towel. There we go. So this is my idea of a Stardew Valley pink cake. So I'm going to put this in the fridge now, probably I would say a couple of hours, and then we'll try it once it's chilled out for a bit. Hello again, it is now midnight and I just got off a Zoom call with my friends and I've decided to finish filming the end of this video. So here is my cake in all of its squinty glory. You can see there that it obviously goes off to a wee edge. So I'm going to cut a slice, show you the inside, try a little bit because it is midnight. So I'll take the part that's got the ugliest raspberry. That's an ugly raspberry. Okay. There's still a lot of cake left in here. Whoopsie. So let's give it a try. Also, I absolutely am wearing my husband's clothes now because I was very cold earlier and I took my dress off and now I'm dressed like Count Dankula, so there you go. You know, now that that's been in the fridge for a while, the sort of artificial raspberry flavour has gone away, and when you're eating it, it tastes like really fresh, and it's got like a really nice flavour of raspberry behind it. It's quite nice. It was a really good decision to just put cream in the cake and not put like butter icing in the cake because it would be far too sweet then. But yeah, it's really nice. probably just going to stop there and not eat anymore, but it is really, really nice. So if you're still here, thank you so much for staying this long, watching me make a cake where I basically just made it up as I went along. That's usually how I bake unless I'm filming it, so you've had a look into the wonderful mind of my own. I had a lot of fun making this cake. I think it's very pretty. It's very like retro looking, I think. If you want to make this cake the way I did, I'll put all the ingredients below, like all the weights and stuff that I used, and you can try it yourself. If you've got a better recipe for this, send it to me and I might try it. If you do make this, please take pictures of it and send them to me because I'd love to see it. If you want to support me in any way, shape or form, I have links below to Patreon and my merch as well. But I'm going to go now, so thanks very much and I'll see you later. Bye!